The other day, one of my daughters turned 13. So I have a 14-year-old and now a 13-year-old. So I have two official teenagers in my house, in our house right now. That's quite something. Even though they've been acting like teenagers for years. Officially, they're now teenagers. And so I've been thinking, especially when my oldest turned 13, I have to think of something called the Rite of Passage. And let me just elaborate a little bit about this in my words. In the culture around us, maybe even here, to a certain degree, we still have some people groups that celebrate this. It's a big thing, bar mitzvah, and in the Jewish tradition. So it's like by 13, becoming a teenager, you actually come of age. So you're introduced to society or to your culture around you, and you're introduced in saying, hey, look, you have certain rights, certain responsibilities, and certain privileges. And we teach you now to become an adult, officially. That was the original idea. And there are certain ways to do it. Like I told one of my daughters, like in Switzerland, for instance, it used to be with 13, the man, they were given a weapon. Not nowadays, it's 18 now, like when you join them, or 18, 20 when you do military service. But that was a big thing. So basically, it showed them, like, look, you are now officially a part of us. You're like us. You're not a kid anymore, even though you're still like in transition. But you need to step up to this, taking your place among us. And we teach you, we introduce you, and you grow into it. And it's a beautiful thing. Sadly, nowadays, as I was sharing this story, and there's more to it, what I did for my second daughter, the second child that is now an official teenager as well. But sadly, I know some people around me that are 30 and have not gone through the Rite of Passage, being actually an adult, even though they live in an adult body. They're in their behavior and mentally and how they conduct, I don't know. I don't think they're adults yet. That's just my opinion. And maybe that's offensive. Live with it, okay? Maybe you're watching this like, oh, maybe, I can't believe you just said that. Yeah, I just said that. And maybe it's time you take this, think about it, and say, hey, maybe I need some role models. I need somebody to take me under the wings to understand more what this is and what my role is and what my responsibility is. And the biggest thing about this, why I'm saying this, to make a point, is you stop living for yourself. Okay, like if you're a child, even a teenager to some degree, it's like all about me. I just had an experience with that in another episode. It's about coffee spilling. You can listen to that on another episode. But it's like the world evolves around me, like I need this, I need that. And as a child, like as a parent, you give whatever your child eats. And especially now, if the child cannot talk yet, it's crying. There's different cries. One is like, my diapers are full. Okay, change it. One is I'm hungry. One is I'm grumpy. I need some more sleep. So you detect this as a parent. You understand which cry is for what. Nobody can prepare you for this. You can read books about it, maybe even podcasts, watching, listening, but you have to walk through this yourself. There's no guidelines or book like this is how you do it. There might be some guidelines to help you, but eventually you need to experience this. It's your journey, walking through this, learning as you go along. I like how Indiana Jones says, I'm making it up as I go along. I'm just learning, because I'm open-minded, and I need to adjust to the situation, and it keeps changing. So, saying all of this, as the child grows, they need certain things, and we always need certain things, even me, But hopefully, as you grow into adulthood, and you become an upstanding citizen or law-abiding citizen, however you want to put that. There are certain things that you need to conduct. You need to become a part of. It's not just about you. There's other people around you. You learn that obviously social interaction in school and different things, kindergarten, school, different grades, being around your peers, being around adults. I just had a conversation with one of my friends that their oldest daughter just has got her first job. And like with 16, and it's a little thing, but it's in a place where she needs to learn to interact with customers, with clients. Some are nice, some are not nice. You need to handle money, you need to handle responsibility. All these things are part of growing into adulthood. It's like, listen, you're now an equal member of society, so act like one. Okay, it's not always easy, not always pleasant, but it's you technically, I think, in my mentality, we need to live for something bigger than just us. And as parents, we need to make sure our kids understand that and teach them a certain way. It's like, hey, if you do this, there will be consequences. If you don't do this, will be consequences. So you need to think what you're doing, how the way you behave, the way you act, how you conduct yourself, all these things. And in this journey, on this journey, there's things that this person learns because it's trial and error. You need to learn. Like sometimes you mess up, you fail. Okay, pick yourself back up. Talk about it. Learn to apologize. Make it right. All these little things. These are makeups that make us to become who we're supposed to be. So that's just one aspect. It's big, okay? And so if we miss some of this and grow into adulthood and don't have the people to speak into our lives, to invest in our lives, to help us, shape us, and form us so that we can walk this path and encourage that child or now young adult to like, hey, you need to find your path. You need to find your passion. You need to find what it is that God has put in your life that you can live that. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to motivate you. I'm also here to, sometimes put a mirror in front of you and say, hey, look at yourself. This is not, you need to change something. Okay, you need to be aware of this, that your life, what you do and don't do, what you say and don't say, has an influence on the world around you. So I know that's a lot. I didn't really plan to talk about all this, but anyway, as you're growing into this, hopefully you can learn all of this at an early age, because it will help you to deal with people, to deal with society, to deal with the culture around you. So that's why I think a rite of passage is a big thing. So what I did, I took some time and I wrote a long letter to my oldest daughter when she turned 13, and now to my younger one. And just what I felt in my heart, to tell her, to give to her, that could shape her life and help her shape her life, of something she can look back to and read and say, okay, this is what my father thought about me or encouraged me, his guidance, his advice, if I choose to take it. And then on top of this, I wrote a whole blessing of just like I felt like when she was born, Karina and I chose her names. She has 3 names, what they mean and what they mean for her life, because there's a lot of things in a name. I can do this in another episode, but to speak into that, to speak and encourage her and bless her that God has a plan for your life. There's a destiny that you have here. He made you for a specific purpose. Find out, and it will take probably a while. Some know sooner, and some need to find by trial and error. I feel in my life I stumbled into a lot of things that I didn't really know I was capable to do or knew that it was in me. It just came out because a situation presented itself, and I was able to live up to it or try and see how that works. So anyway, it was beautiful. I was able to do that and bless her and keep doing that. And so I want to encourage you who are listening. Maybe you have children. Maybe they're at this place. Do something like this. Do a rite of passage and introduce your child. What are the responsibilities? What is expected of you? And what can you contribute? What can you give? And if you never had that, and in our society here in America, and also where I'm from, it's not celebrated the same way. It used to be a big thing, and it's maybe not anymore. To some cultures, it still is. And I want to encourage you, maybe look into this. Look, you still have time. If you're 30 and what I said before, and it was kind of a little offensive, it was like rubbed you the wrong way, you need to say, okay, well, maybe it's my chance now. Maybe it's my chance to look into this, and I need to, gather myself, or I need to, go to somebody. Maybe I need some help. Maybe I need some encouragement. Maybe I need to revisit my life, how far I've come here, and where is it that I want to go. And maybe I have been, conducting my life to my needs and what I want. And maybe it's time to step back and say, well, what can I contribute? Where can I give something back? How can I, pay it forward or invest into somebody else? Like I had a lot of people investing in me. I'm very grateful. And that made me invest in others from an early age on, because I felt like this has worked for me, and it shaped me and shaped my life. and I want to do the same and pay it forward to somebody else. So I hope Rite of Passage makes sense. It's been a journey. It's been a joy talking about this. Here's a few of my thoughts. It's my perspective. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Maybe that was for you. Maybe you know somebody that that's for. So pass it on. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.